Coach, I asked before while you guys are still in the green room, how many of them have been coached by you, or had their fathers coached?
Chandler, I coached Chandler's father.
How many others besides?
There's a few others on the team. Then I've had a lot of them through the years, but a few others on the team that I coached their fathers. I had no grandchildren yet.
Well, that was my next question, so we'll move on. How close are we to that?
I don't know. There's some out there, though. Now, look, Ruben and I started at the same time, so you
Yes, I've heard the story. Yeah.
So what's the outlook for this year?
Well, we're looking forward to get started this year. Of course, the region we play in is you got to be ready to play every week, or you get it handed to you. You got to strap it on, be ready to go toe to toe with whoever we play. And our guys have been working awful hard this summer. We're looking forward to officially getting started next week.
Do you have anything up your sleeve for this coming year that's going to make people look and say, that doesn't look like Buddy Ball at Vestavia Hills?
Well, look, I don't think so. But, we've always done what we feel like we can do. If we can throw it a little bit more, we'll throw it. If we have to run a little bit more, we'll run a little more. We try to pick when we want to do that, with the run and throw. We got Eli Sawyer coming back, quarterback, had a great year for us last year, and Eli's already had several offers, and he's got as good arm as anybody I've ever coached, and great young man, and we got Chandler and Peyton Walraven coming back to play a good bit of receiver, and some other receivers that we're looking to. We got to replace our tight end, Michael Weiss, who's now at Sanford. Michael was a big threat for us last year. But we got offensive line's got to grow up a lot. We've got to replace a lot of guys up front, and then defense. I feel good about our defense. We still got a few slots that we know kids got to, they got to really step up. That guys that were on JV last year that will be juniors this year, but overall speed is good on defense and very aggressive, and a lot of intelligence on our defense. That Will is kind of our quarterback on defense, getting us lined up, correcting the secondary, and just getting people to the football and getting to doing their assignments.
Buddy, what does this team have to do to get back to the playoffs?
Well, we got to win enough games to be there. We got to beat some. Last year we lost 4 games. We were 6-4. 4 of them were region games. All 4 of those teams won in the first round, and then of course 2 of them won the second round. Of course, they were playing other teams from our region, and one of them got down to Thompson, and they got lost to Central. But our region is just that tough. We had a couple of games that kind of slipped away from us, and that a lot of that had to do with who were playing. Their players, and had Thompson on the ropes last year, and we just couldn't quite finish that one and lost by 1. So you got to win some of those games. You got to, and it's just like I said, you got to be ready to play every week, and that's one of our goals is to get there, and then see what we can do once we get there.
For any of the players, is goal number 1 getting in the playoffs, or is it something else?
I personally think it's a little bigger than that. We're always shooting to finish on top, and we want to see ourselves in Bryant-Denny. And the way this summer's going, out of my 4 years here, I think this is the most productive summer we've had, and we're real far along. We're really happy with the kind of summer we've had and the position we've put ourselves in.
Anybody else?
Yeah, goal number 1 is state for sure. Obviously, we got to make the playoffs first to get to state, but we got our eyes set on state.
Buddy, did you guys play any instant replay games last year?
Any what?
Oh,
yeah, well, I guess you can say we did. We had the cameras. They worked 1 game, 1.5 games. And,
at your place, you guys
at our place, 1.5.
But were you guys able to diagnose why they didn't always work?
Well, if you're asking me if I can diagnose it, no. It's too much technology for me. But we had some people that are very technologically sound that couldn't figure it out. I really don't know and it also messed up our sideline replay. We're trying to show on our kids on the sideline. So it was definitely an experiment, and
Will you guys do it again this year?
that's debatable. I'm going to make sure our sideline camera works before the instant replay. And I got tickled. We were playing Hoover, and there was a play, and we'd already told Josh. I said it might work, it might not work, but if it works, it worked. And they went over and told him right before the game it's not working. Well, there was a play, and he throws the flag halfway out on the field, and the official says, "Coach," he said, "Well, you saw that." And he said, "Coach, the instant replay is not working. We told you that." So, it was one of those type situations, but it worked.
Aside from the technical difficulties, what do you think of instant replay?
Well, I think the only thing it's would do, because you can't, everybody sees the instant replay they have in college and the instant replay they have in the pros. And, they got so many angles. In high school, all I can see it do is to correct the very obvious. Like if a ball comes out and you didn't see it come out, but it did come out, or the situation when they started thinking about that when Jackson was playing St. Paul's and the ball hit the guy from St. Paul's in the back, and the Jackson guy never touched it, and they gave St. Paul's the ball, and it would have corrected that obvious. We had two plays when we played Tuscaloosa County, the only game it really worked, and one I thought there was a fumble, but there was not enough angle to see it, and another one when they fumbled, and I thought it was not I told our defense coach, let's get our defense back on the field, because that wasn't a fumble. And they had ruled it a fumble, and we got the ball, and when we even saw the film on Saturday, you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But it was, to me, it was very obvious. But
did you win a challenge last year?
No.
Did you make any challenge?
I made that one challenge.
Okay.
But it didn't. And I think I made a challenge in one other game. I think we were playing Huffman, but it didn't win that challenge either. So I was 0 for 2.
Is instant replay going to be feasible at the high school level?
I think
without costing an arm and a leg?
I think eventually it might, but right now it's very expensive, and so I don't know if it's going to be worth it. If they do it in the playoffs, so what?
Yeah.
You do it in the playoffs. If you go back, if it had worked, I think I'd have felt better about it. But spending that kind of money and it not working, only working 1.5 games, it wasn't worth it to me.
Do you happen to know how much that system cost you guys?
Too much. I don't remember the exact dollar amount.
We started this conversation out. Robert asked Coach about coaching, the children of people he had already coached. What do you guys think about playing for Coach Anderson, a guy that's been at one place for such a long period of time?
Well, there's one thing you can't teach is experience. Like you can be an amazing coach, but you can't teach experience. And so obviously he's been doing that for longer than anybody in the state. So it's just good to have that wisdom and like if we're in a situation that not a lot of people have been in, he's probably been in there before, and he knows what to do. So he can help us through it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's really great to be coached by someone who's just been in Vestavia for so long and just has the history behind it. And we all just trust him and buy into his system, and it's just great to be coached by him.
The kind of man he's shaping us into be, I think goes a little deeper than football. You couldn't have a better coach to turn you into a man than Coach Anderson, and the kind of person he is, and his integrity shows us how I want to raise my family and what I want to be like when I work. Because things you learn in football, that's what my dad always said, that you just can't learn in the classroom or learn anywhere else. Just football teaches you something different. No better person to do than Coach Anderson.
Do you compare Coach Anderson stories with your dad?
Actually, yes, pretty frequently. We talk a lot. He loves Coach Anderson. My whole family does. And my dad played quarterback for Coach Anderson a long time ago, and I think his junior year he played safety. He told me how fun it was. They started off 9-0, and they got a couple people banged up. But I mean, I'm always telling them like, man, this is our year. Like that's the kind of season we're gonna have. And it gets me fired up talking about it. Me and him are ready to go out there and play in the front yard when we start talking about it.
From the stories your dad tells you about Coach Anderson, do you get any sense that he's different or he's mellowed out or any of that kind of stuff over the years?
I mean, I think he's just as enthusiastic today as he was back then. If anything, more fired up to keep winning and keep going.
One of the things we've been talking about today somewhat is that we're fully entrenched in the social media era. I know you're not the most biggest fan of technology, just what you said about instant replay, but I'm sure it's had to have affected in some ways how you do your job and then how the team operates in a larger sense.
Well, I think it's one thing that the whole society, the technology, and these guys, they could do anything that I couldn't do on a phone. I had to give one on my phone to put down our. We do have a Twitter account. I don't run. I got a coach, a young coach that runs a Twitter account, and the only thing I tweet's my whistle. So I had to give the phone to Will for him to be able to write down what the account was. But they're so intertwined with social media. I mean, it's just the way it is. And didn't ever have to work when Chandler's dad played. We barely had cell phones back then. I can remember because his dad was a little bit older than my daughters, and I can remember buying a bag phone to go in my car for my daughters and tell them I'm paying, and of course I was paying $15 a month. Just for the bag phone. I said, now that's just for call 911 or to call mom and dad. This is not to socialize with friends. 2 of them heard that, 1 of them didn't hear that. But, I'm getting a bill for $100. $100? Well, I just talked to my friends, So, but, anyway, but they're so tied into the technology. And technology in football, if we're talking about our sideline, what we look at and they don't even have that in the colleges or pros, and I'm going. We're on an unlevel playing surface for schools that can't afford this. We can afford it, but of course, it looked like last year we couldn't afford it because we couldn't ever get it to work because we were competing with the instant replay. I guess that's what it was. That's what they kept telling me. I don't know, but I think in some ways the technology is not good. Some ways it is good, but. I could still be sitting and watching a 16 millimeter film. I know what to do. I know if it's not working.
But you don't do that anymore.
No.
Okay.
I don't film the game that way, but no. I watch it on a computer, and I get mad when the computer just sits there and it turns. I said, I thought this was supposed to be instant stuff, and all I'm seeing is this little thing do this. But I get frustrated at that. But we got instant film right after the game, and we're not having to drive somewhere to meet somebody to swap film, and then you're just swapping, however to do it on the huddle and all that kind of stuff. All I know is it works and get it. It's a lot more, and you can break down things a lot more. That part's good, but some of it is not.
Larry, speaking of some of it's not, have there been times when you wanted to do something say something on social media, post something that you kind of had to pull back on because you're playing for Vestavia, you don't want to give the other team bulletin board material or anything like that? Coach, how do you bring them in situations like that?
Well, we talked to them about what, you put something out there, it's there. You can't take it away. I mean, it's there. People see it. And there's some things and some of the technology, it's going to be there forever. You better be real careful what you put there. And, like if I text somebody, I text yes, no, call me, usually. And if I send an email. I'd basically say, call me. I'd rather talk to a person. I'd rather talk to them face to face than on the phone. But it's better on the phone than over a text or over email.
Players?
I mean, I guess you got to be careful what you put on social media. I mean, I try not to use it too much anyway because I think it's more of a distraction. But I mean, we have it. I think most of us do.
Not mostly you do.
Yeah, I guess I just always kind of try to think like, what would my grandmother do if she saw what I put out there? And so that's kind of what I do to filter.
Yeah, my parents are following me on all social media accounts, so gotta be careful. And nobody on our team is really crazy on social media or anything like that, so we don't really have to worry about that.
Yeah, we're talking on the way over here, and one of them talking about some kid that's here locally that just got something showing counting out dollars. He's a prospect, and he's just counting out dollars, 10s, 20s, 100s, counting out dollars. Like, well, where's this money coming from? He's putting it out there. That's making somebody think, where's that money coming from? And it doesn't matter who it was, but somebody's doing that. So what are they going to be thinking?
You guys use social media players? Do y'all get to scout other teams, see what they're doing?
Actually,
Yeah, well, I guess we use Huddle and just like watch film like that. That's kind of what I use.
Our coach is real good about sending them, clips to watch. This is what I want you to look at. This is, see this. They're and I get somebody to do that for me, but
Coach, I was just going to ask him about the kicking game this year. How's your kicking game and your returns?
we got Connor Knighton back. Connor kicked some for us last year. And Connor will be handling our kicking duties and our punting. Now we have our short snappers back. Our long snapper graduated, but I think he's going to be able to do both of them this year. So, I feel good about that. And of course, what I'm worried about is the freshman level down, even JV. They're saying you can go by these certain, abbreviated rules. You don't have to do kickoffs. You can just snap the ball and punt it, and nobody feel I'm going, well, if we don't teach them how to do this now, what are we going to do? And I'm worried that down the road, especially our middle school, they don't do any kicking. None, except extra points. I'm going, well, we're not developing a punter. We're not developing a snapper. We're not developing, I'm concerned, we're down the road, there's not going to be the kicking and the snapping and the little skills, the holding skills like that. Those kind of skills are not being taught that need to be taught.
Who's going to be returning the ball for you this year?
I'm sorry.
Who's going to be returning the ball for you this year?
Well, don't know for sure. You talking about kickoffs and so forth? I'm not sure who's going to be doing that yet.
The guy that can get you on past the 50-yard line.
Well, we'd like to get somebody to get us over the 50 or a chance to go all the way, but that all depends. Main thing is we tell who's catching punts, catch the ball. If you catch it and fall down, we're going to save 20 yards. Catch the ball first, then protect the ball. And same thing, kickoff, catch the ball, protect the ball, get it upfield, and we're going to try to get the ball up around the 40. If we can get further than that, great, but we're going to try to get good field position.
We asked you about social media just a moment ago, but what's the biggest change you've seen in your career? If you just name one.
One, I can name about 3. But
well, you could probably name 100, but what do you think's the biggest one?
Probably this technology, the transfers, the lack of loyalty to a school or something. What have you done for me lately? Where can I go? Here can I go to this place? What are we teaching? Are we teaching kids that if you don't like something, you just go somewhere else? Or whether somebody is enticing somebody to come over to their school, is that good? And if it is being done, I'm not saying it is, but some things look like, if it looks like a cow, it's probably a cow. It looks like a horse, probably a horse. But if it's being done, are we teaching kids integrity? This game's supposed to teach integrity and character. I couldn't look these guys in the eye if I was doing something like that, or if somebody in our community is doing that. I couldn't look them in the eye and talk about integrity and character because I wouldn't be doing it. Not that I'm perfect, and I'm not. I've made enough mistakes to sink a battleship. But what I'm saying is, we need to keep the game, the integrity of the game, and the integrity of the game is, you know, do it the right way. Play with the people you have in your community, you know. And sometimes you're gonna have some real good ones, sometimes you're not. But you're gonna play with the ones you have, and you're gonna try to develop them the very best of being, try to develop them the best men they can be.